Okay, so I just wanted to put together a little video because I got a really weird capture the other night. This first video is not mine. Credit petermaxwellslattery.com but I found this just today and I wanted to show it to you because this is exactly what I saw, except what I saw had a blue light on the right and the same sort of red light on the left, and what I saw also had like a really dark black silhouette, kind of almost, yeah, it was just a really weird black halo around it. But I was on my back porch looking northwest, and it was in between the tree and the roof of that house there, so it was really low on the horizon. I mean really low and quite close. And then it just flew southwards and ended up south of my house looking towards Melbourne City. Of course, this is filmed in Thornbury, Victoria. And it ended up about 45 degrees up in the sky. Now, the reason why I showed you that other bit before, which was not my footage, is because I didn't have my camera on me. And it wasn't until it was about halfway through getting up to this point here, probably about a minute or two, that it actually morphed into this single silver ball. And that's when I went, oh man, this is not right. This is weird. And that's the point when I went and got my camera, and pretty much by the time I got my camera and found it in the sky, it was up in this spot here, and it just stayed there. So we're looking south, the wind's going west to east, so you know, it wasn't getting blown around by the wind or anything like that. Oh, there is this little sphere that comes down through the top. Now this could be nothing, absolutely could be nothing. So I just happened to see it, thought I'd slow it down so we could have a good look, but that's nothing definitive, of course. But yeah, look, I know aircraft really well, done lots of flying myself. Aeroplanes fly around here regularly. I know what navigation navigation lights look like, aircraft sound like. I know, you know, this thing had its light shining at me this entire arc that it flew, which was, you know, almost probably 180 degrees, well, not that much, maybe 130, 140 degree arc sort of around me, and this white light was always shining at me. Helicopters and planes don't fly sideways, and I'll tell you what, they don't fly around with their landing lights on around here either. So, you know, you just know that it's not an aircraft. No noise, nothing. So, and I reckon it was probably only, I reckon it only went to a couple of thousand feet, because I'm pretty good at judging distance and height, and these clouds weren't much higher than a couple of thousand feet. And at one stage, I think it was just before I started filming, some clouds did go behind it, and it was in front of the clouds or below the clouds. So we have a sphere here going from the bottom left to right. So it happens real quick, so I slow it down. I mean, these are pretty faint, but if this was nighttime, they'd probably be sticking out like anything. I mean, this was a really bright sunny day. So lucky that we saw anything, really. I mean, if I hadn't have seen it when it was so low and so close, I would never have spotted it up in the sky. I would never have. It was only because I saw it fly up there that I knew it was up there. Now there's something else interesting coming up in this video, and again it could be nothing, but it's just something that I happened to see as I was editing, and that is get ready to look in the top right hand corner. There's an object is going to fly from the top right down to the bottom left, a black object this time. Of course, it could be nothing, but seeing as we're here, I'll point it out to you. So you'll probably miss it the first time. So there it is. I do slow it down. That could be a bird for sure. But I don't know. The way it's flying is quite strange because as I said, I'm looking up at 45 degrees, maybe more, up in the sky. Yeah, it's hard to tell. But this object just stays. I know it's only a little pinprick of a light, but it just does not move. It does not move from where it is. Lucky it was pretty much a cloudless day, but it was good that we had a few tufts here and there, just to keep a bit of reference. Now, something else interesting is coming up, and I think this is probably the best part of the entire video that I shot. If you look in the top left-hand corner, top left, going straight down to the bottom. See that there? It's slowed down now. But it gets even more interesting because I ended up taking still frame shots because there's that same black object, well, I can't say it's the same, but a similar black object goes right to left and intersects with this object here. So these are just some frames that I snapped. So that object there is a black object and it's about to just go behind the white object. There. So I don't know what that is. I don't know. Could be a bird. Could just be coincidence that there's a tiny black bird flying up. Who knows? But it's interesting that it came from the same direction and did pretty much the same thing that the black object earlier did. So I only just saw that like an hour ago, while I was putting this video together. So it's interesting what you see. Anyway, that's all I have. Hope you found it interesting.